But the math is not mathing to me. And I'm very confused about the whole thing. Call the therapist. Call the therapist. Because a lot of them are going to need sessions. Gian is my number one. Hi people, welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Talia Adewale. This is DISBYDEM. I'm using a new mic. I'm hoping that it's catching audio because a lot went down in this episode. And I know it's about to be a long recap review, guys. There was a lot that went down. That's all I can tell you. So grab your drink and park it and let's get into this. Sure to like the video, leave those comments. Shout out to the people who've been commenting. You guys are the real ones. And hit that notification bell, subscribe, so you know when I post new videos. And let's just dive into it. So hi you guys. So I'm getting Hamza to react to, yes, as you can see, we're very chilled right now. I'm getting Hamza to react to Better Late Than Single.
Come on.
Are you pretty nervous?
I don't think this one can find love.
Whatever's comfortable.
Do you have any siblings?
Are they like awkward?
Socially awkward individuals.
Awkward.
So that's what the show is called. It's Better Late Than Singles. They're never daters. They've never dated in their lives. Never, not necessarily virgins.
Oh, I like this your house.
Our newly transformed eternal singles are about to
It's
come
Jeju
together.
Island. We should go.
When we were
Where did they do this?
Jeju.
Where's that?
Where ya?
Ah.
it's beautiful.
Holding hands and praying.
You guys need to see my brother's reaction.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still calm. I don't want to.
I've been on about 4 blind dates. 5, 4.
She doesn't look like any teenager.
I was so nervous. I was
Like what? No, I'm sorry. Pause. I'm gonna pause it.
It wasn't because
Like the guy, you could see his quirkiness. She looks fine to me. Why is she having problems?
She's explaining it. She went to an all-girls school throughout, basically.
And
You know,
Okay.
there are people that we know. There are people that have gone to all-girls school and they don't know how to
She
interact.
doesn't have a crush. She doesn't know if she's ever had a
With
crush.
Because she's not been around
The
enough
problem
men.
is different.
see, I'm sorry.
Severely believe.
You're not hearing the story, so you don't understand why they're saying that.
I'm still my head is still trying to calculate this because these people are not.
He's saying there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with
You
you.
can't
I
relate.
can't relate. You look like you're ugly. You're this nothing. You look perfect, and you're having this problem. Like, what's going on? It's hard for me to
Let me
relate.
tell you, let me just do one of the episodes. This guy said that. Episode 7, it was hot cake, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I was screaming by the end of this episode, but let's start where they started. We see that nobody picked Miji, which I was shocked about, but we don't see who Song-chan picked. I'm guessing that if he didn't choose Miji, he must have chosen Yomyong, but we don't see his date at all. Or did we see it in the last episode that I was just so, what's it called? Just so like transfixed or obsessed with the events of the episode that I didn't notice. I don't think we did. And it's almost like we didn't even see Song Chang in this episode at all. I guess maybe being a doctor, maybe he's just super busy. I'm not sure because I've watched in what's it called? What was this Japanese one? Love Village, I think. Is that what it's called? I feel like that's what it's called. There was one doctor who got called away because, he's a doctor and he had to go back to work because he was so busy and everything. Is that the same thing that's happening with Song? Where is Song Chan? Is what I'm trying to say here, guys. Where is Song Chan? Because we didn't see him this episode at all. They then tell us that the night dates, it's not a secret date, but it's women's choice this time, and men are all spread out in different locations around Jeju. Sang-ho says, God, and I swear to God, it gave me chills, guys, like literal goose flesh, and in the worst way possible. Sang-ho says, Jizu gave me hope that she likes me. Y'all need to take. We need to free Sang-ho from this villa. Cut him loose. I remember saying this in episode 1 that I don't know if Sang-ho really realizes why he's in the villa. I stand by that premise, guys, because throughout this whole episode, I wasn't really sure Sang-ho understood why he was here. I mean, he made the best of his situation, which I can respect. Big ups to him. But that Jisu gave me hope. That sentence it put the fear of God in me, and I already have the fear of God, guys. It really did scare me a little bit. So we see Jion, and she's making her choice, and she said that she really didn't want to see Jammuk. No, not Jammuk. Jaehyun right now. I mean, valid. She really didn't want to see Jaehyun at the moment, so she just went to somebody that she was comfortable with, and that ended up being Jammuk. Surprise, surprise. I mean, it's only surprises because the hosts. I don't understand if the hosts are watching the same thing that we're watching, but we need hosts. They need to get YouTube reviewers. I'm not lobbying for myself here, guys. I just think that the YouTube reviewers do a better job of hosting than the actual hosts on these shows. There's only like 1% of the hosts that I've seen on a lot of these shows that I respect their what's it called, commentary, because I see that they're actually clocking things left, right, and center. The hosts are surprised because they think, oh, she is into Jammuk. And I'm like, no, read the signs. Jammuk already said that they were best friends. And I'm not talking about Jammuk here, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about Jion. Jion wanted somebody that she was already comfortable with and that she could talk to. The options were going to be between Jammuk and Sung Lee. I'm guessing she's closer to Jammuk, and that's why she chose Jammuk for the dates. I don't know why I'm so pressed. Anyways, she said she actually did say to him, I'm closest with you and Sung Lee. So those were her options. They have made this clear in the last 6 episodes. We've seen it. So I don't understand what the hosts were losing their mind about. They were so surprised that she chose Jammuk. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep. The hosts really, they didn't really annoy me, but they kept making stupid comments throughout this thing today. And I was like, are we watching the same bloody show here? Are we really watching the same show? Because I don't understand what you guys are on. Who's your dealer? I'm kidding, guys. I am kidding. Anyways, he's very attentive because he brings up, her cut. She apparently cut her hand earlier in the day, and he brings that up and he asks her about it. He's very attentive. He's always been like that. He's a very easy person to fall for. He's one of those characters because his attention to detail is impressive, and he keeps the women, like, he says all the right things a lot of the times, right? Then he says, do you want to hang out after the show? And they say yes. She's like, oh yeah, you can come to my studio. That kind of circles into them talking about music and how he wanted to do music, but his parents wouldn't let him, and how she didn't want to do music or something like that. And then her parents kind of, I don't even understand. They just started talking about the story. Her story was almost opposite to his. And she talked about how she'd hustled, saved her money, moved to Seoul, and then lived in this one small room for a long time. And that's how she kind of got into music. And now she's doing what she's doing. Honestly, guys, forget Jizu, forget Minong. Jion is my number one. I'm sorry. Jizu, some things that Jizu said in this episode kind of like, I'm like, girl, I think I'm going to have to shelve you for a bit. I still like her. I like that she's giving the process, her full attention, and she's doing what she's supposed to do. But Jion just, Jion just rose. It's like she put yeast and just stayed in the heat and like just started swelling. I really do like this girl. She's my number one. I like Minong, but I know that Minong is not going to get any action. And even though I like and respect her, I just know that there's nothing for her in this villa, only heartbreak, and it's kind of sad. So she's definitely number 2, or she might be tied for number 1 with Jion. I think both women are strong, beautiful, and I just like them. I think that they just do, they hold themselves well is what I can respect most. So they're talking, and then he ends up saying that she's amazing and he would like a daughter like her. Now, you see, this is where Tammy would say this was not even where he, in the next date is where I called Jammuk to the front of the class, because I was like, Jammuk, I get it that these things are easy for you to say, but it doesn't mean that you have to say them. You can compliment somebody without, giving them hope. Jion doesn't see anything between them, so she just took the compliment on the chin and, moved on with it. I don't think Jion is attracted to him at this point in time. Somebody made a comment saying that they saw Jammuk with his jean combination, and it's the poster of the show, on a walk with Jizu. And after this episode, I don't think it's Jizu, guys. I think it's Jion. Because Jammuk and Jizu have never even had a conversation, so I didn't really see anything for them, But after that, I think it was either Mute's Graveyard or it was an iconic one, baby. One of you said it, and you guys were on the money, but I think it was Jion and not Jizu. Next, you see Minong, and She chooses Jammuk. Now she's like, she said that she tried to match outfits with him. She, she wore black and everything. He said that he was grateful. Whenever somebody says they are grateful, guys, just pack it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. There's no love there, at least not the kind that you're looking for. He said that he was grateful that she picked him. She says that she thinks that his choices are between herself and Do, and I'm like, I don't think so. And I was begging him to clarify that he doesn't see her like that. Sometimes it's best to just rip off that band-aid and, let the scab bleed. I'm joking, but you understand what I mean. He needs to clarify to her that he only sees her as a friend. It is terrible, but it's the best thing for her. Because now she's thinking, oh, we have the best dates, we have the most fun dates, and it might not be wrong, but it's not in the context which she's thinking. He's not romantically attracted to her one bit. This guy has zero attraction for this girl, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. It is what it is, But I needed him to clarify. He then asks, about her dating a college kid, basically saying, I'm currently in college, you're working, will that be something? He was trying to use that as an escape, trying to say, I don't think we match, but in like a roundabout way. And in trying not to hurt her feelings, I feel like it's just going to hurt her even more. It's the same thing that Jayon did, trying not to hurt somebody's feelings, went around and he dug the knife even deeper into Jion's heart, So I wish that he had clarified. The female hosts think that he's interested in Minong because he said he made that statement about dating a college person, somebody in college, and I was like, are they watching the same fucking show? I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Somebody's just gotta let it out. Are they watching the same goddamn show? The male hosts were like, nope. Because me, I was like, I don't think so. He is not attracted to this girl like that. If anything, they will be friends. And that is if she wants it. If she can't handle it, they will not be friends. The male hosts say no, that they don't think so. They think that it was a segue into saying, we don't match. But he just didn't want to come out and say it that way, It ended up being a very sad date, guys. It was sad. And I felt bad for this girl. I felt it in my soul. I felt it in my soul. She likes this guy so much and she stands no chance. And it's not because of anything to do with her. It's just because he has other people that he's interested in and she's not even an option for him. It kind of really broke my heart, and she cries in her one-on-one and we see Minong cry. Minong was the last person. Wednesday Adams, she was the last person that I thought would cry. And it really broke my heart to see her cry. I'm not even going to lie. Next, we see Jizu, and 3 guys, the fan club was waiting for her. We had Sangho waiting for her, Hyunkyu and Songli, and she chooses Songli. He was so happy, and then she was surprised that he was happy, and I'm like, girl, you got 3 people on your case. Obviously, he's going to be happy that you chose him. He literally won over 2 other contenders. It's like, it's a win for him. Let him have the win. But she was surprised that he was so surprised. And I was like, yeah, well, what does that say about you, girl? He apologized for the double dates. He said that he kind of just took ownership of it. I mean, he already done that before, but he did again. And that was kind of class of him. This was where I had a red flag for Jizu, though. Jizu, in her one-on-one, said that she picked him. I don't know if it was one-on-one, if she said it to his face. But she said that she picked him because someone had commented that he takes care of her and looks out for her. I said, girl, shouldn't you have noticed this already? You are trying to decide between 3 people. 3 men are on your case and you're trying to decide which one is best for you. Are you not running the pros and cons, seeing how everybody reacts around you? Like, what is your metrics for choosing these men? This was when Jisu went down, guys, in my ranking, because I don't know what metric she's using to pick her dates or to choose her final choice. But the math is not mathing to me. And I'm very confused about the whole thing. Anyways, that's why I kind of left Jisu. I was like, okay, I don't know how this... I'm guessing that she will end up with Jisu. My choice, if not for all the neediness and all the desperation and the flags were many in this episode, guys. But my choice for Jisu would have been Hyunkyu. Just because I know that I feel like there's a lot for him. There's a lot going on for him. And just the scenario and the situation in which he finds himself in, that is what is triggering all this desperation. But also, it's triggering the desperation, and desperation is there. So Originally, my choice would have been Hyunkyu, but I think she will end up with Sungli because he seems to be the best of all three right now. Hyunkyu was obviously devastated when they got the text that the date had ended. Obviously, she didn't choose him. Sango fell asleep waiting for her, and then he ate his seafood platter and an extra batch of, I think, stew and rice that he demolished the food. He said that he's not been able to eat comfortably because he's been with different people, so he thought that this was the time. He also said something about he was planning to rate the food, and so he wanted to give it his all. It was a lot. He demolished that food. I'm not gonna lie. Yomyong, we see her going to her date, and she said something about, was she the one? No, she didn't say anything. She chose Jammuk. I said Jammuk ate so much cake and drank so much wine. He was busy. Busy. I did not see Jammuk being the most popular person on the show. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see it. Not like he's not handsome or charismatic or anything. I did find him charming the first time we saw him, but I didn't see him being the most popular. I don't know who I saw being the most popular, but it definitely wasn't Jammuk. So Yomyong chooses him. She says that he already knows that she likes him, so she's just going to do what she wants at this point. Like, it can't get, apparently she's basically saying it can't get worse than this. She already knows, so she might as well just live her life. I think it's a solid strategy. Unfortunately, I think it's wasted because I don't think Jammuk sees her as an option at all. I feel like, I wasn't sure in the last episode. I thought maybe she stood a chance, but I didn't. After the date, I didn't think that she did at all. I don't think he's remotely attracted to this person. Anyway, she tells him that next time he's in the library, he should read her diary. She says that her childhood photo is cute in there, so he should check it out. He then says, "You're still cute," and this was where I said, "Jammuk, come to the front of the class. Come to the front of the class," because because he can't say things to a girl that he knows that he's not interested in. That is unfair. I get it. He's being nice and he's probably being honest, but you gotta temper your words because this girl is gonna run with it now and be like, "He thinks I'm cute. He thinks I'm cute. He thinks I'm cute. Then I stand a chance." You know, you already know this girl likes you. If you don't like her, don't encourage it. That's what I'm saying. So I think that Yomyong is nice. He's charismatic. He says all the right things, but he needs to learn when to say all the right things. Because I don't know how he wanted to phrase that, but telling her directly that she's still cute, it sets a precedent that he finds her attractive. That is how she will take it. And it just gives her hope when there's no hope. She then hops to the question about, we her being a 0.5 for him right now, because she's like taking hope that she's not a 0. She says that if she increases 0.1 each day, then she can get to a 1 for him. I don't think he likes this girl. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think he's attracted to her in any way. Because when I sat down there and I analyzed his entire dates, all of them, even the next one coming, I analyzed them. You know what? Let's finish his dates first. He was so busy, and then I'll tell you what my analysis was at the end of it. She then tells him, this is Yomyong still, tells Jammuk that he's her top choice, but that there's no pressure. She just wants to hang out with him whenever she can. I feel like that's a good strategy too, because she knows where he stands, but she has decided to push forward. So I think it's great that she keeps reminding him that there is no pressure from your end, because I know where you stand. However, because I like you, I will push forward. I feel all is fair in love and war, and I think that she laid her cards out perfectly. Do is next, and obviously she chooses Jammuk. She looked cute, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. Don't prepare for this date, and she looked absolutely beautiful. I will give her that. She said that she wanted to look pretty. She tells him that she wanted to look pretty, and he says, "You do look pretty." I don't know why she had to say it out loud, though, but you know what? I'm nitpicking. She said that she didn't eat a proper meal because she didn't want to ruin her look, and this is where she lost me, guys. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't eat because you didn't want to ruin your look? You wrap yourself up, you eat your food, and then you unwrap yourself and you go out. I don't understand. I didn't think that it was necessary to say that, because what kind of precedent are you setting there? Like, let's move on. I did say that she was trying throughout this day. This guy was giving it the good old try. She wasn't trying to engage him, looking into his eyes, trying to communicate, but I did not see anything. She has zero attraction for this man. I will tell you why. Because the way she looks at him, you can just feel the gears clicking in her head. In her head, she's trying to be like him, be attracted to him. She was trying, but to me, there was zero. She couldn't find this man attractive one bit. This man is not her type. Not even remotely close to her type. Will she deny it if we ask her a direct question? Yes, because of how the episode ended. But personally, in these dates, I didn't think that she found him attractive at all. But she was trying. She was trying to get to know him in order to build that connection. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, every time I talk about Do, I can't be saying that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to be guarded because you guys feel like, you know, let's move on. Let's move on. Joe says that, so they're obviously conversing, and she says that her ideal person, I think she'd said this in the double date the day before or something like that. Her ideal person is someone with the same kind of upbringing that she had. She grew up in a strict home where being studious was like the number one thing. And that was, I think this was the big downhill, the beginning of the end for the Do and Jammuk. People were shipping them like they didn't see. They didn't see. Remember when I said in episode 2 or 3, I don't even know what episode, but I said that Jammuk will spend time with this girl and realize that he doesn't really like her. He's just like attracted to her physically. Remember when I said it? I said what I said then, and I said what I said now. Anywho, the more they talk, the more Jammuk realizes that they grew up in different worlds, because everything that she says, he kind of had the opposite experience. But what he asked, I think she asked him, what do you value most? And he says his family. And then he put the question back to her, and she says herself. And this was what I meant when I said that she was a taker, and I meant like in a good and bad way. I didn't even mean that, like, I wasn't prejudiced or anything when I said that. I wasn't insulting her. I just knew, I felt it. Like, and I've known people like this. She is very self-serving, and at least she knows it. Like, I don't blame you if you know yourself and you tell me, show me who you are and I will treat you accordingly. That's always been my motto, you know? That's how I live my life. When she said she values herself first and then her family, I was like, it makes sense. It's very much, I'm the most important person, and that's how I see it. And I can't fault a person who knows that that's who they are. Like, I don't see it as a negative, especially if she's telling you, this is what I value the most. She has told you, you know? So I think that was another thing that really, throughout this date, everything, it's almost like everything that they were saying back and forth was like edging him away from her. And I feel like that was the tipping point for him. She then says that she asks him if he's changed his mind, and he said some stuff has changed and some stuff hasn't. He says that Do is still the most the person that he is most attracted to in the house, but they are not on the same wavelength. Can't even speak. They are not on the same wavelength when it comes to conversation. I was like, he gets a star for honesty at least. But then he says that he regretted saying it. And I guess maybe he wanted to, I guess, phrase it differently so that it doesn't come off like a rejection. But it is a rejection. Let's call a spade, Jammuk. You keep trying not to hurt these girls, but you're still hurting them in the end. So I gave him stuff for honesty. I don't think she said that she was confused, that how can he say he's most attracted to her, but that they're not on the same wavelength. And I was like, "Do, you need to sit down and analyze the conversation both ways. You said one thing, what you wanted, your ideal kind of person, your ideal kind of life, your ideal kind of relationship, what you value the most. He said the complete opposite. You guys are not, you know, circles and triangles don't go together. Like, I don't think that she actually analyzes their conversations. She's just saying what she says, and because she has this perceived notion that he likes her, she's like, you have to just go along with it. I feel like that's how it's working in her head. Because why is she confused? Why is she confused? Based on their conversation, what he said made sense. It made sense, but that's what I'm saying. She's not processing what he's saying. She's only processing what she's saying, and she's like, if you like me, go along with it. And that's why she was crying, saying, I gave you my all. Because that's like, where? What all? What are we talking about here? But we've not even gotten to that, so maybe there was more that she gave. Anywho, the host think that he is thinking too deep, because he's analyzing things about the future and how he would want somebody in a relationship in the future, and how that just meshes for them, you know, moving forward. And I'm like, I disagree. I really do disagree. This is where I wrote down that they should have had at least a couple, either a newly wedded couple from one of these shows that they've been putting on left, right, and center. They should have invited them, and they should have been part of the panel. Because, first of all, they have been on a show. They have the experience of having all this, intense feelings, dating multiple people at a time, and ending up successful. And then maybe they got married out. There's a lot of them. Yeah, maybe it's not a Netflix show, but it's Korea. They could have invited one of them. But they're also so fresh in their marriage that they understand the feelings and the dating scenarios that are leading to all of these situations. I think that maybe they should check that for season 2 and invite a either a newly dating couple or a newly married couple from one of the reality TV shows that ended up being a success. If there's a couple that's a success in this season, bring them back as panels, as hosts on the next season. I beg you. Because are any of these hosts married? Are any of the hosts married? I don't know. It's hard to find out if Koreans are married or not, so I could not be bothered to check. But you guys know. You guys follow them. Follow them to the T. Are any of these hosts married? And if they are, how don't they understand his rationale, his reasoning for thinking about the future? The man said he came here to find a person that he wants to date long term. How do you not understand that he's thinking deep about it? How can they say it's not that deep? And then later on, they're saying, how could they do that to Do? Like, the hosts were just like waves going back and forth, and they were irritating me a little bit in this episode, because I was like, pick a side and stick to it. Either you understand what is going on, or you. I guess they didn't. So what am I complaining about? Hyun-kyu leaves a letter for Jizu in her mailbox, and then comes back 30 minutes later to check it, and then obsesses that she hasn't picked it up 30 minutes after he put it in. Paces a little bit, goes and knocks on her door. When he was going to knock on her door, I was shouting, no. I was like, abort, error. Why? Oh my god, he was so desperate this episode. It was intense, guys. It was a little much. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little much. He showed himself in this episode, and I was like, brother, oh no. She didn't even answer when he knocked because she was sleeping. The girl is exhausted. She was tired. She was having a nap. A bunch of them are gathered in the lounge, and they are all just laughing and drinking, they're kind of just easing tension, I guess, from the day. It was a very, stressful day for a bunch of them. Song Chan is missing. I don't think I saw him in this. It was Jisu fan club, Jion, Miji, Minho, and Yomyong. I feel like those were the people there. Hyun-kyu, who is already angsty, paranoid, all the things. He was stressed out. He was just on edge. Starts talking about, I honestly didn't even understand half the things he was saying. He was talking about strategy, not really strategy, but they saw it as strategy. He was talking about how he intended to date or something, like all the things that he had thought about when it comes to pursuing the person that you like and all that thing. And everybody perceived it as strategy. I think they all kind of already have a preconceived notion about him after that whole monopolizing Jesus time for like over an hour thing. And so they were all seeing it as strategy. And he's like, yeah, that he thinks that deep because it's a serious thing for him. He came here to find somebody that he really likes. I think is that, as well as he knows that Jisu chose somebody else, and so he's spiraling a little bit. It becomes a thing. They're all trying to correct him. He gets defensive, says that, what, he basically said, this is better late than single, not better late than friends, is what he said. This is Love Island, not Friend Island. Is essentially what he said. And I didn't understand his reasonings or what he was talking about enough to actually care. So we move. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So Jammuk was busy the whole night, right? He had 4 dates, right? He had Do, Yomyong, Gian, and Minong. 4 dates. Ooh, this guy is killing it. Oh my god. And in all those dates, guys, Jion's date seemed like the best one. It seemed like the one that he had the most fun, because they were just chatting and they were getting to know each other on a very chill level. Especially for Jion. She had no expectations from the date. She went there because she just needed somebody to talk to, and she was just talking to her friend. But I feel like things switched. I wrote it down, guys. I said I feel like things switched for Jammuk. I feel like he started seeing Jion in a different light. Maybe not fully attracted to her yet, but there was definitely a switch. And I think also all these women being on Jammuk, it gave him context with the way the women are interacting with him, how they're speaking, things they're saying, the way they look at him. People, is that situation of who you like versus who likes you. I feel like he takes that all in, and when he's interacting with Do, he spots the difference, because he's very analytical. His mind works in a very different way. there's some things that he says, and I'm like, oh, very good, you caught that. And every time that they will talk about their families and everything, him and Do, and she would say something opposite from what he is accustomed to or what he is looking for. I think that's what like drove them apart. Inch by inch by inch by inch. Back to this, Do is waiting for him. She recognizes that he's busy, and so she wants to get in with him before anybody else can pick him up. I think Do is getting desperate at this point. She's like, oh, maybe maybe he said he likes me, but definitely not as much as I thought, you know. He comes back, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I feel like he was on his way to that lounge. He said hello and he was gonna just walk past her, which is crazy considering how Jammuk usually greets Do. Jammuk is always all about Do. If he sees her, he stands up, he goes to her. And this was completely, for me, I wrote it was the coldest greeting ever that he has ever given Do. It wasn't cold, but it was definitely one of the coldest greetings he had ever given Do. She pulls him to the caravan and says that she wants clarification about the wavelength conversation. And then she asks him, is this something that I can change? And I was like, I hate it's one of the things that I hate the most because it's something that I personally have experience with. Changing yourself in order to fit, you know, the image that you think that your partner wants. It's I can't stand it. I can't stand it. If you don't like me for who I am now, keep on stepping. It's not by force, you know. But I have personal experience with that because I did try to do that in a relationship and it just doesn't end well. So now anytime that somebody says that way they want to change themselves to fit the image of the person that they think that their spouse or their partner, potential partner wants, it just sets me off. So when she started saying, is this something I can fix, is this something I can change, like she really likes him, she was all like, she was putting out all this stuff. This was the highest desperation of all the desperation. She's like, I'm losing this guy. I can't afford to. I don't want to. She's like, I like you. And so she wants to be proactive with him. He then says, do you remember the conversation we had about your ideal type?
생각하는 이상적인 연애는 어떤 것 같아요?
be myself 할 수 있는, 그러니까 서로 너 이렇게 해야 해, 변해라 이런 것보다는.
So her saying that, you know, she doesn't want to change, she wants to be herself in a relationship. Saying that the last time, you know, in the clip that we just watched, guys. And then here saying, can I change? It's just, oh my God. It was like a sucker punch to the gut, man, because I felt bad for her in this whole thing. She wasn't getting what he was saying, though. She didn't really understand. So she then asked if he changed his mind. He says that, yes, his mind has changed. The hosts are losing their mind. They think that he has fallen for Yomyong. And I was like, it's not Yomyong. If anything, it's Jiwon. That was what I wrote. I said, it's not Yomyong. I don't know why they think that it's Yomyong, because Yomyong is flirting. Yomyong is flirting with him. He's not flirting with her. But during those dates, out of those 4 dates, Jion had the best vibe. Their date had the best vibe. Whether it was platonic or romantic, their date had the best vibe. Do then asked, who is it? And I'm like, girl, what do you want to go and do? Poison them? Like, seriously, what do you want to do? You want to know who he's interested in, so you can mold yourself into that image of the person so you get him. Makes no sense to me. He doesn't tell her who it is. She then switches tactics, man. She goes with the guilt effect. She starts saying, you're so busy. I waited. I fixed my makeup and checked the mirror several times. I wore my favorite earrings. I was like, girl, stop. She said, was it all for nothing? I wore my pretty shoes. Oh my God. I was like, girl, stop. Enough. The more you talk, the farther he goes. Like, you could just see it. He was just like, oh no, help me. He wanted to get out of that caravan so bad. I felt bad for her, and I felt bad for him. Anyway, she then says that he's hinting that he wants to go to the lounge. She's like, no, just stay with me. She literally begs him to stay with her. And they stay for a bit, and then eventually he's like, I want to go to the lounge. It was super uncomfortable. You could just tell that he was uncomfortable. She was very desperate. It was just not a good feeling all around. She was operating from a scarcity mindset. You know that thing where she's losing. She thought that he liked her more than she liked him. And then he showed her that maybe it's not like that. And then she got possessive. She and Hyun-kyun can set up shop. They can set up shop. I'm telling you, because between the two of them, it's crazy. It's crazy. The desperation is crazy. Jion's, I think, sunglasses case was in there, and then he's like, "Oh, whose is this?" She says it's Jion's. He now said, "Oh yeah, I have to take Jion her tangerine." Do then says, "I'll take it with the tangerine to her." But then, in his effort to escape, he's like, "Oh, I gotta go get Jion her tangerine. I want to go to the lounge." He practically ran away from this woman, guys. As soon as he came down from that caravan, he saw Minong and Jae-yoon, and he clutched onto them for dear life and ran away from this woman. It was bad. Do goes to her room for a bit, and she's just huffing and puffing. She's so frustrated. I get it. But I also understand how things fell apart, because, guys, I saw it from the beginning. I told you so here, guys. I'm teaching my kids not to be here, and I told you so person. But I told you so! I'm sorry, because people thought that I was crazy. People were already shipping Jammuk and Do, and I'm like, based on freaking what? Songli and Jizu were closer to being in a relationship than Jammuk and Do. I'm telling you this, even though I don't even know if Songli and Jizu will be in a relationship. They were closer than Jammuk and Do. Yikes! Hyunkyu finally finds Jisu, and he shows her what's in the mailbox. He left a letter and some sweets for her. He then takes her to the caravan for a chat, and then he starts rambling again. He talks about this dream. In the dream, she's introducing him to her brother, and it was just giving obsessed. And I was like, "You're just going to scare this girl off. She already has experience with stalkers, and you're doing this. You're not helping the cause." She literally told you about her experience. Like, Caravan, I get it that you are angsty. I get it that you're scared that you're losing the girl that you like. But all of this desperation, it's not working for ya. It's not doing anything for you. She tried to escape through the whole, but you're a doctor, won't you be busy? Well, unfortunately, man came prepared, man. He came with a whole ass schedule of how he plans to hang out with her in between, you know, his internship, his studying, everything. And I was like, yikes! It was an instant red flag for her, man. She said that it was a little bit too much. So I'm pretty sure that door is completely shut. But I'm not really sure how he's going to take it. I mean, I know how he's going to take it. I don't know how she's going to tell him. Jaeon then pulls in Yomyong for a chat. Should we call it a chat? He pulls her. This was a cluster biff of a conversation. Aye! They need to have advisors. I feel like, I don't know who suggested this, but the person was correct. They need to have on-site advisors where they will break down or debrief, you know, their dates, or maybe even a therapist on site, because definitely people need call the therapist, because a lot of them are going to need sessions after this show, after this night alone. Lord have mercy. Jaeyoon apologizes for not talking with her first before confessing his feelings. He said that he didn't realize that she already had somebody that she likes. So he thinks that he might be, in his one-on-one, he says he thinks that he might confuse her, but like he wanted to just tell her that it wasn't that deep so she can, you know, rock on with whoever it is that she likes. What he was essentially trying to do in this situation, I understand. I knew exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to self-sacrifice, to say, "Oh, because I know you like this person, I'm not trying to confuse you. It's not that serious for me, so I hope that you and this other person get along well." But in doing that, he took it to hell. He took it to hell. Jaeyoon took it too far, Lord. And I wish that he had somebody to talk to. I think maybe Jammuk was missing for most of the day, and so he didn't have anybody to run his thing by. But then again, I don't even know if it's Jammuk if he knows that it's Jammuk that Yomyong likes at this point. He took it too far. He said that it's basically not as deep as he made it feel. That he made the confession 100, but it was more like a 5. He said, "I wasn't super into you. I was just interested." Yeah. He knocked this girl left, right, and center. Now, I have beef with Yomyong as well. I do. Both sides were right and wrong. To be honest, because I understood where Jaeyoon was coming. I knew what he was trying to accomplish here. He was trying to basically let her go so she can follow the person that she likes. But he took it too far. He should have just shut up and let things play out as they may. And then she's confused, obviously. She's like, "I don't understand what you mean." But then again, this was where I was like, okay, girl, you didn't even like him. She said she wasn't looking out for him whatsoever. She literally said that in her one-on-one. So I was like, I get that you're confused, but it shouldn't be that deep. Just walk away. It shouldn't hurt your ego, first of all, because you didn't even like him to begin with. And you shouldn't be too mad. You can be confused, but you shouldn't be mad about it again because you didn't like him. So is this thing again? And I think I accused Doe of this in the beginning. It's like you want somebody to like you, but you don't like them. How does that work? How does that work? You tell me. Like, so I understood the confusion. Valid. I understood the confusion, but I didn't understand the anger. It wasn't that deep for her anyway, so she shouldn't be mad about it. She just tells him that he had no right to instruct her on what to do. Wow, that one was 100% valid, guys. I stand with her on that one. He had zero rights, but it played out in his mind very differently than what happened. Anyway, she leaves. Yomyong seeks out Jiyeon, and they come down this lane. Yomyong's trying to vent, and homeboy was standing on the lane and literally dives into the bushes. Guys!
아니 진짜 말 그대로 진짜 없어진 거예요?
Oh my god. Remember when I said that I didn't think it could get worse for Jaehyun? Yeah! He keeps showing me that there are levels deeper that he can go that I have not even thought about. He dove into those bushes and laid in the dirt, hiding from these women. And then he got stuck there because they were talking on the railing right across from him. So he couldn't move. He had to sit there and listen to them gossip about him. Because obviously Yomyong was venting. I mean, she could have done way worse. She actually was very honest about everything that happened. She could have said a lot more. I said, call the therapist. Call the fucking therapist, because what? No, I felt bad for him in that instant because I know that the internet is going to eat him alive. Y'all protect Jaehyun, please. I don't think he can survive from any shaming. He already said that he has capacity for unlimited shame. Please, guys, don't shame him. This boy went through a lot. That took the cake. The hosts were shocked. I was shocked. I didn't expect it at all. And you know the worst part? I don't think it's the first time he's had to do that. God, call the therapist. Call them. Anywho, the gang is gathered again in the lounge, and they're just drinking and chatting. Jiyeon is taking shot after shot after shot. The girl is just trying to drown her angst, anger, and sorrow, and heartbreak. And then Jammuk is really interacting with her. He only had eyes for Jiyeon during that thing, and I was like, and so it begins, guys. And so it fucking begins. The conga line is a thing, guys. It's a true thing that happens in these shows. And then they start to vibe, but they're just vibing where Jiyeon, I think, is still on the he's my friend level, while Jammuk he has transcended, man. He has switched. Jiyeon gets tipsy and is all over Do, being her roommate and her bestie, because they've been besties all this while. Though. And I swear to God, if Do could go and bury this girl in the backyard, she would have buried her. Do would have killed Jiyeon if there was nobody in that room at that point in time. And it's like, why are you taking it out on Jiyeon? Jiyeon is innocent in this whole thing. Jiyeon's just living her life, being chill with her friend. It's Jammuk that you should be after. If you want to bury anybody, go and bury him. It's Jammuk. There's nobody else that you should be mad at, though. She wasn't feeling the whole thing. She could feel the sweet. Jammuk was very focused on Jiyeon throughout that entire interaction. Do leaves. They leave Do alone at the table. Jammuk says he's going to get his tangerine, and Jiyeon kind of like stumbles after him. And Do is like huffing and puffing. She goes into her room, she huffs and puffs for a second. And then she said something like, I have to swallow my pride. And then she takes her laptop and mouse and goes back to the lounge. At this point, the hosts are saying, how could they do that to Do? And I'm like, check yourself before you wreck yourselves. Because they didn't do anything to Do. If anything, you can say, how can Jammuk do it to Do? But Jiyeon ain't done squat. So let's not even do that nonsense. Let's not do any rubbish. I'm going to start for Jiyeon, guys. She's my number one leading lady. No, nobody go after Jiyeon, because at this point in time, it is completely innocent for Jiyeon, unless they edited it. We have not seen her say one hair or hi about liking Jammuk, unless it was edited. And if the hosts are watching what we are watching, then they need to check themselves before they wreck themselves. I will be writing a very strong worded letter to Netflix. I'm kidding. I don't have time for all that crap. Anywho, Do goes back to the lounge. And then she tries to get Jiyeon away. She's like, Jiyeon, are you coming to bed anytime soon? I'm like, what the actual F? Jiyeon says, no, I'm still drinking, I'm having fun. And then Do decides to hunt them like a ghost and just stand there looking at them. So obviously Jammuk notices and he's like, are you going to bed? She says yes. So he walks her out. She says, "Are you not going to your room?" He says, "No, I'm just walking into your door. I'm going back to the lounge." So he drops her off. He's on his way back. She calls him back because she can't stand the fact that he's going there to go and hang out with somebody that he probably likes. And it's possessive is what it is. I get it. Feeling tensions are high, feelings are amplified. However, it is extremely possessive. It is Hyun-Q level of obsessive at this point. So she calls him back, says that she wants to talk, takes him into the room. While he's sitting there, Jiyeon comes in and she's like, "Oh, you scared me." She only came for her bag. She can't be bothered. She took her bag and left. Then those stays and she's just looking at him. I'm like, you said you want to talk. Talk. For the love of God, talk. She ain't saying nothing. And then she's like, she's trying to phrase the question and she just outright asks him, "Is it Jiyeon?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Do you like her?" And homeboy said, "Yes, I do." Standing on business. There's context. I know there's definitely context in episode 8. I know that, guys. Don't get me wrong. But I love it. He stood on business. And at least now she knows, right? And here's the thing. I saw it coming, so I'm not really surprised that this whole relationship broke down the way it did. But based on their conversations, it was the only rational conclusion. They are obviously wanting opposite things when it comes to a relationship. How does she not see that? I get it. The guy is very attractive. He's charismatic. She don't even like him like that. She's just obsessed that she has lost the one thing that she thought was sure. And I can understand that. I don't want anybody heartbroken. But it's like, listen, I'm at the edge of the crossroads. I'm kidding. It's just the way, like, the conversations were not flowing in the direction of having a stable relationship or even any relationship. So the fact that she's so... It has nothing to do with him, even. It's the fact that she has lost something that she thought was sure. I feel bad for her, but this now, whatever conversation is about to go down in that room, will only drive him further away, unfortunately. I think he has completely lost his sparkle for Do, and he has moved on. And I can't be mad at Jammuk, if I'm being honest, because even when he was talking to Jiyeon, he said something about he's figuring out his dating style here because he's never dated before. It was either Jiyeon or Do he was talking to, and he's like, he doesn't know if he should date somebody that he is comfortable with or if he should date somebody that he is attracted to. And for somebody who hasn't dated, he can only figure it out here. The thing that he doesn't know is that a lot of the best relationships come out of friendship. So if he does end up dating somebody that maybe he's comfortable with and they were friends to start, it will probably develop into something beautiful. Probably. Depends on the person. Depends on the group, right? But wow, the whole world is in arms about Jammuk and Do, and they're like, oh my god. People were shipping them, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep quiet and wait. He may still end up with her, guys. You never know how these shows go. He might try dating Jiyeon and realize that what he had with Do is what he's looking for. But let the man figure it out. Let him be. Let him be. I'm very excited to watch episode 8. I want to see how that day goes because he's definitely going to go on a date with Jiyeon. And I want to see how that goes, especially on her end. I'm very interested to find out how that goes. But yeah, I loved it, guys. Episode 7 came with the heat. It was a banger and I was here for it. I absolutely love it. Leave those comments, guys. You know what to do. Leave those comments. I'm very excited to read what you guys thought about the events of this episode. I'm sure a lot of you were surprised. I wasn't. But yeah, like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell so you know when I post new videos. And I'll see you guys in episode 8. Bye!